Hello everyone, this is Hachiri and we are back in FTB Interactions. Now, in today's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to get our fuel system upgraded to be Infused Nitro. We've already done a bit of prep work. We've gotten most of the parts made. Now, one thing you'll notice is part of the system is missing here. The system for the sodium hydroxide and whatnot has been moved over to here and it has been updated to current technology. We're also using the new lithium recipes and we got constant lithium being produced, and that's going to be important. The other thing is we have our fluid heaters, we have our chemical reactors, we have our advanced mixers here, and I do have a spare diesel generator if we need it. I don't think we will, but as a precaution, we got that. And what we're going to be doing with all this is we're going to be turning both the diesel from the system over there and this biodiesel over here into cetane boosted, and then we're going to convert it to infused. And first we're going to process the diesel, believe it or not. And the reason we're going to do that first is we're going to get that going, get a bunch of the infused made, enough to fuel some of these systems for a good bit. And then we're going to go ahead and proceed to flush our fuel system and swap it to the infused. So we're going to swap these over, and then we're going to plug this in as well and get that all set up. So let's get started on all of this. Now, taking a look at cetane boosted, what we're going to need to do first is we're going to need to get this tetranitromethane made, which needs nitric acid and ethanone. Now, ethanone is pretty easy. It's just a fluid heater and acetone. So that's going to be the one of the easier ones, okay? And we're just going to get that shoved from the machine directly into a chemical reactor. The nitric acid is going to take a little more work. And we're going to do the recipe that involves nitric dioxide, oxygen, and water. So we're going to be doing that one. Now, taking a look at this system now has enough water. And I'm going to kind of plug in a thing for this. I need to figure out which one of these systems I want it plugged into, though, because we have the one over here that I can plug into, and this may be the one that we plug into, because this one isn't actively used. And we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and get this part ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to have like 3 different nodes sending to this machine. Alright. Now I'm going to close this. What is your extract? Your extract is blue. There you go. I don't know what this is. It doesn't say. That doesn't look like water to me. It's methane. There we go. Now we got water. Alright, so we have our water. We need to get... where did I put it? There we go. We need to get a couple more cables. And I believe what I'm going to do is this first chemical reactor. I'm just going to place right there. And we are going to lag out a little bit. And we're going to bind that to this one, and we're going to bind these two to it as well. And 87, 81, 87, 81, 483. Not sure why they are acting like that, but all that matters is that when I plop this in here, we get some water in this thing. So let's take a look. Water is filling the tank, and it doesn't fill any other. Perfect. Alright. Now we are going to need a control chip for this. So let's just pick up a handful of them. Just make a bunch of them. And this one, it needs to be set to configuration 4. And the other ones we're going to connect this to is going to be the nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Now oxygen's right here. Let's take a look at our levels. Looks like we're doing good. So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to come over here to our nitrogen dioxide setup, which should be full at this point. It is perfect. And we're going to plop this in here. Now if we go back, this should be running now, and you see we have nitric acid, which is perfect. So that gets us our nitric acid. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a fluid heater. Now this is going to go into a chemical reactor with these two to make the tetranitromethane, and it's going to have a little excess water. We are going to set up a trash can basically to get rid of the water, but it's going to have that excess in there, so that's fine. But taking a look at this, let's get the fluid heater and the other chemical reactor. I think we're gonna need to make some fluid filters now that I'm thinking about this. Alright, so for the next part, for this, we need the ethanone, which I said is going to be a fluid heater program set to 1. Now, I could have the machine set on either side of the final chemical reactor, but I'm going to have it side by side like this, simply because I'm going to have conduits going underneath anyway, so it's just going to be easier to set it up in this manner. And I think temporarily we are going to turn off the green on this one, which is going to back this up, and that's fine. That's fine, because we're going to be changing these colors on this once we get the conduit set up. So this is set to 1. And we're going to have our acetone that we've been building up for a while go into here. No, I don't remember which one of these tanks is acetone. Oh, there it is, right there. So when I put that in there, the fluid heater is making ethanol. So we now have that. Alright. Now we're going to go and quickly make a couple of filters. Fortunately, I just so happen to have 2 buckets, so this is going to be a real quick thing. Oversight on my part, I didn't have everything ready this time around. There we go. And we got this going. We're gonna have both of these go into the chemical reactor, and that's not what we need the filters for. What the filters are gonna be for is for basically blacklisting water into the 2 mixers, and you will see that here in a second. Alright, so we have the chemical reactor, and then we're going to have 2 mixers over here. One is going to be for biodiesel, one is going to be for normal diesel. And we're going to move all of those away here shortly. So real fast, let's get all this connected. And I guess I could break this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code it. Just so that we're good to go on that. So, let's see, this and this. So we're going to take out on the insert on that, and we're going to change this to black. And change that to black. We're going to take out the insert. This insert's going to be black. And the extract is going to be, we'll do lime. for the extract. I do want round robin on this. I do not want round robin on this one. Although with round robin, that's going to be a problem, because even though I will have a filter, I don't know if that filter will follow the rules. Alright, so both of these are going to be magenta, pulling out. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a fluid trash can here, and I don't have one on me, but I do have one in the system. We're going to have it right here. And this one is going to have an insert of lime. And a filter. And do I have water here? Just take one bucket of water. This can only have water go in it. So I'm hoping it will round robin the tetra between these two and only water can go in there. And I'm going to need one more filter, and I did see one. We're going to blacklist water here. It's a little laggy today. I'll have to take care of that shortly. Alright. Alright, so we're blacklisting water on all of those. So let's turn you on. Let's turn you on. Let's turn you on. And this should be making Tetra Nitro. And sure enough, it is fully going in there, and we are good with that. And I can turn this one back on now, because we no longer have a danger of it just doing whatever. Alright. So these two are going to output a magenta. We'll adjust that here shortly. For right now, taking a look at this system, I think what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to have this one going here, and we're going to keep this particular one in the back here. We'll make a new one, but we're going to keep that particular one. Then we're gonna go to the diesel setup and see that we did not even make a node for that. So we're gonna need to get a node made. We're gonna need to get 2 nodes made. So let's get started on that. Now to do this, we're going to need a few basic things. We're going to need some pumps. We're going to need graphite, etc. Medium bronze pipes, okay. So I already know we're going to need several of these. So we're going to do 24 medium bronze pipes. And we'll get all this stuff together. So 9, 10. Need some LV motors as well. Okay. 24 divided by 3 is 8, I think. So we should only need 8 of these. We're gonna need 16 rubber rings. And a bunch of tin cable. 8 tin cable. And we're gonna need 36 tin. Alright, let's get this melting. I am going to need a tank for this. Do I have any tank on me that's empty? I have my stainless one. I guess that's what I'll use for right now. We will stick these parts in here. Grab these. Get our pumps going. And while that's crafting, let's take a look at what else we need. We need graphite plates. So we'll need 16 graphite plates. We'll need some steel drums made. At least 4 steel drums. And see, steel drums, that would be 24 steel that we're gonna need. Get that 24 steel done. There we go. Alright, so get that, and then get that in there. This will go in here. So that's all being crafted. We're gonna need this. So we're gonna need 4 of those. And we're going to need 4 of these. So let's just real quick make those. There's our eyes. Does this need to be done? No, okay. So I'll place the eyes right there for now, just for storage sake. Let's put the gold cable away. We don't need that on us right this moment. So the only thing I have left to get crafting is this. So we'll need 8 illumination, 8 diamonds, 16 aquamarine, and 16 ruined marble. So there's the 16 ruined marble, 16 aquamarine, 8 illumination powder, do I have diamonds in this chest? I know I have a whole bunch over there, but okay. I have to go to the caches that I had set up. Alright, and we are going to just randomly dump that right there. Grab one of these. And let's get our wand out of here. And hopefully the latency will pick up here soon, because it's pretty bad right now. But I think it's the automation Hikera has going on that he does when people are offline. Alright, and we got one more. Alright. Now, hopefully, at this point... Okay, those don't stack. That's annoying. But hopefully our other stuff is done crafting. Let's take a look. There's the rods for the tanks. There's the plates. Do we have pumps? There's the pumps. Alright. Finally getting somewhere. Alright, so there's that. So we'll stick this right here. Like so. And collect all of these beautiful fluid nodes. Now this is something that you will end up making a lot of in the future. I don't see any other way of building these, but this is something that you will be crafting a lot of, so it's definitely worthwhile to make these in bulk where possible. Do I have any more sodium left in here? I have a little bit. Let me see if there's any left over from magnesium. Real quick. We're having a bit of a squirrel moment right now. Hey, there was some in here. Cool. This squirrel is brought to you by... Alright. So, we got that going. We're going to get those batteries made. So, get that done. Now let's go back to our diesel and get it plugged into a wireless setup. Okay. Where are you? There we are. And I'll need my configurator. Where are you? There we go. Alright, so that pumps diesel into there. And we can now move forward. But looking at this, I believe I neglected to actually make a thing for that. So we're gonna go back here. And right click that one. And plug you into the diesel tank. Now we'll still have to do something about this, because this is going to be full here soon. We're not using the refinery gas on anything. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think we'll get it sorted. I'm thinking of maybe actually using one of the tanks for it and just saving it and then connecting it to a few drums with gas turbines. But alright, so we got that going. Now the next thing we need to get set up is for the infused nitro part. Now, since we're skipping straight to infused, there's no reason to save the cetane in a tank. We're just going to go straight to the infused. There's going to be no in between. So we have both of these. These are both creating cetane boosted diesel. As you see, we have 2 sets of it. And what we're going to do with this is this requires a chemical reactor. And I am missing a chemical reactor. I was apparently off by 1 chemical reactor. Alright. we will make one more chemical reactor. So grab an electric motor, a steel rotor, 2 circuits. Does this one require the wire? It does. 2 gold cable, a HV hull, 2 glass, and there's our chemical reactor. The other thing I'm gonna want so I'm gonna want one of the quantum tanks. And there will be a method to my madness with this one. What I plan on doing with this one. So we got that there. I'm gonna just check on something real quick. I wanna check on those batteries. And they are done. We're just gonna go ahead and put these batteries in here. That way there's extra power. We got a lot of machines here. They're not always gonna be running. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 machines. So I think as a precaution, I am going to hook up this particular one. Get that right there. Grab a fluid duct. That'll get some fuel going in that. Alright. So the first thing we gotta do is get this insert set to something other than green. Magenta. And we have lithium chloride, because all that stuff went in there. Awesome. Alright. So that is set to magenta. Turn both of those on. And that should fill this up with cetane boosted. Now, we're going to need item conduit, and we're going to need one of these. So we're going to set this to insert. We're going to turn this on. That's going to start pumping lithium in there. We're going to bind that. Go to our tanks. And in our starlight section here, just going to plop that one right there. Now this should be creating infused nitro diesel. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a port to there. We're we're going to pump it into this. And I'm just going to use this kind of like a spacer, as it were. Just going to set that there as a spacer. I'm going to place this tank here. We're going to bind that. Throw it in here. Set this to maximum. And set the output to it. And as you see, we are getting the nitro in here. And that gives us our nitro diesel. And this is where things are going to start getting interesting. So the first thing we're going to do is, let's see here. Maximum IO is 800 per tick. We're going to want a little bit more than that. I don't know. I mean, the maximum these things will do is, well, it's 1K per thing. So let's try mechanisms with this. So it does connect. That's good. And I'm going to set one right here. And I'm going to set one right there. Set both of those for insert. Set both of these to 1K. And we're going to take all of these from that system and we're going to put it in this bottom one. What we're doing is we've just switched our primary fuel system to nitro diesel for the actual fuel. We're not going to take all of these ones. We're going to stick it in this one. So all the other systems are now going to go on that. They're going to run out of biofuel and then are going to switch to this. And we're taking this node. We're going to kind of plug it in here in the back. Set it to maximum. And we're going to grab all of those. And we now have this system set. So now all of our fuel is set to use nitro. It will take a little bit to build up, but it is now all officially set to use nitro. And we got this one as the primary system. It will fill the tanks as soon as they are empty. And it looks like it's using even amounts, which is good. And hopefully this conversion will be flawless. I'm hoping. But there you have it. We have basically converted our entire system to Infused Nitro. It is slowly going to build up, and then it is going to fuel all the systems once it's built up. We'll see a drop in it at that point in time, but we should be okay because this thing is going to just continue filling things up. It will always do this. It's got plenty of power for right now, and eventually it will be fully 100% replaced, and we will be good to go. Now, one last thing I want to deal with is because I don't have a good way of dealing with the refinery gas. I don't have a thing for it, and I want the diesel to continue producing through our supply. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically use our last bucket and make another filter, and we're going to set up a trash can for that real fast. And then that will be pretty much the end of the system. That having that set up, that will finish out this whole ordeal. Left the bucket. So we got that. We got a trash can. Okay. And we just need to go over to here. Now, since we have this set up as an isolated, actually, you know, we don't even need a filter. It's an isolated channel. Awesome. So if I set that like so, and I set it to a negative priority, then if it can't put it in this to refine, so like this is completely full and it's not able to go into the tank, it'll go in the garbage. Yes, it's a waste, but it's really the best way we can deal with it for right now. And I'm still going to leave the naphtha alone at this point in time. This is going through stuff fairly quickly. Alright. So we should be good. We should be good. So that finishes up our Infused Nitro fuel system. So we're going to wrap things up here, and when we come back, we will look into the next step of our projects. We got still a few more things that we need to automate, so I will take a look at things, figure out where our next step is, and we'll be back then. So with that, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.